As the sun says good morning with some
Hi,
bacon and eggs.
I'm Christina. I'm a volunteer just like you. Thank you so much for wanting to help the children of He Cares Foundation. I'm going to tell you about what we do, how we do it, and why. And also, I hope to share with you some stories on how this program has benefited the children. Thank you, and I hope this time will be a very meaningful and fun time for you and the kids.
I make excuses all the time, reasons why to stay inside, but not one comes to mind.
You don't have to be a whiz at English and math to be able to volunteer with us. All you need is enthusiasm and a heart for the children. Let me tell you about these children. They come from informal settler communities, and there are many things that challenge them and overwhelm them so that they end up quitting school.
I got fresh air to breathe in, I got sunshine on my skin. So many places I've never been. What say today we visit them? I make excuses all the time, reasons why to stay inside, but not one comes to mind. I'm gonna make today mine, all mine.
Why do we do this? First of all, when we met the founder of He Cares Foundation, his name is Jodine Sola, and together with his wife Ardis, they were serving when we met them, and we asked them what was the best thing that we could do for the kids. Jodine Sola told us that they need tutors. And since I'm not a teacher by profession, I asked him, how can I teach the children when I'm not even a teacher? And he said that you only need to befriend them. They only need to know that someone cares, and that someone cares that they finish their studies. Because a lot of them, when they need help in school, their parents are not able to help them well because the parents themselves were not able to finish their schooling. Also, the children want to work already. They want to help their parents. So rather than stay in school and it's boring and they don't have much attention from the teachers because they're the large classes in the public schools, they'll just help their parents so they don't continue their schooling despite the foundation support for them. So the children find school boring and useless, and just they find the other children are far advanced than them because they have a lot of limitations. They live in small houses that informal settler communities that are dark. They're really small, and sometimes it's not even safe to stay inside the house. And it's not a good environment for learning. So what we want to do is to help encourage them, help them to finish their studies and actually stay in the program because they need to maintain a certain grade to continue on as a He Cares scholar. So this is how we found out that there's a really big need for tutors. So when you tutor a child, you're not just helping that one child. If that child actually graduates, you're helping their whole community, because once a child graduates, the whole community looks up to that person and they realize that it's possible. It's possible to graduate, it's possible to change your life, it's possible to attain your dreams. And you don't just help that community, you help generations after of that family that the child belongs to, because the whole family gets supported. We know of one child who graduated from college, she got a good job, and then she put her family outside of the squatter community into a nice neighborhood. And then all of them now, all the children after in that family have high hopes. They don't just settle for whatever jobs they can do or just stop schooling altogether. So there are huge implications when the child graduates. You really have the chance to change someone's life. The children also got very creative. We remember that there's this one company that came and asked all of the children of the foundation to do this wall calendar for their company. And they said, we want all the children to do artwork, and we want the best artwork to be featured per month in our company calendar. So I noticed that when we had the calendar, I looked at all of the pictures, and most of them were from the area we were tutoring. So they also get very creative. They get developed in their art and imagination. So when you meet the child for the first time, introduce yourself, tell the child something about yourself, ask him or her name, her age, her grade level. Try to make friends with the child at first, and try to make the child comfortable with you. So that's the first stage. The second stage is to ask them if they have any kind of homework or lesson in school that they're having trouble with. Once they show this to you, hopefully you still remember from your school days. But if you don't remember how to solve that problem or that situation, that lesson, just call upon one of the regular tutors in the group. Or you can look for He Cares Balik Aral, which is in English, back to school coordinator, and they'll help you. Also, it would be good if you have a mobile Wi-Fi that you can access for any questions that you can't understand from the child or cannot remember from your school days. Don't worry, this doesn't happen often. Most of the time, the child doesn't have any specific request. And so, we go on to stage 3. Stage 3 is when the child says, well, I don't have any homework that I need help with, or I don't have any specific lesson in school that I don't understand. So here we go to English. English is where they get their lowest grades. The second is math. So generally, for the first half of the 1 hour tutoring, we have English, and the other 30 minutes we have math. So for the English part, get a book and try to read it together. We would have a lot of books available in an area where the coordinator will show you. So you can get anything in the filing cabinet or in that area, except you need to bring it back after the tutoring session. So when you're looking at a book together, try to let the child read. And when the child is reading, you can evaluate their English, their pronunciation, their level of skill in speaking English. Try to gently correct them if they have wrong pronunciation. And then, after the reading, ask the child what, when, where, how questions. Comprehension. Did the child understand what you were talking about, what he was reading? Usually, if you don't have that much time, you can just let the child read a paragraph or two and then zero in on the difficult words in those paragraphs. And then ask the child to number his paper 1 to 10 and then ask him to spell the difficult words in those paragraphs without looking at the reading material. So all of the children love spelling, except they don't really do it well. So they need a lot of encouragement, and even if they make a wrong answer, tell them gently that this is the right answer and try to remember it, but always encouraging and always showing them that they can do it. After doing that with the vocabulary, go through each of the words and try to explain it to them. Ask them questions if they know what this word means. For example, communication. So he just tried to spell communication and 9 other words. So he has a list of 10 words. So for the first word, communication, ask them in Tagalog, alam niyo ba kung ano ibig sabihin ng communication? So if they know, then well and good. But if they don't, then you try to Eto, nagko-communicate ako sa inyo. I'm communicating with you. Tayo'y nagsasalita. Together, we are communicating. So, try to explain all the words so that the child feels comfortable. After that, take out all your material and try to ask them, okay, which of the words here mean that we're talking with each other? They say communication. Okay, so that's just a sample of comprehension and increasing their vocabulary. Also, to make learning fun, you can make it a game all the time. For example, get a dictionary and then find a word that's very useful for the children, but they don't know the meaning of. So you get a word, for example, communication, and then ABC. Does this mean translation, translating from another language? Does this mean traveling? ABC, and then the children will guess which meaning of the word it is. And then it's a game. They tell them later what's the right meaning of the word. So everything is like making learning fun.
Today's the day you won't catch me in bed, cause the sun says good morning with some bacon and eggs. And I'm out the house faster than a fire escape, cause today won't wait for me, no. I'm walking taller than I thought I could. I'm feeling proper like a three-piece suit. A distinguished gentleman who forgot his shoes. But I don't have a care in the world.